Hey everybody. Okay, we're going to do an overview of a few of the different video platforms that you can use to do calls with your clients, and we're just going to jump right in. So first off is Zoom. The URL is zoom.us. If you're in the US, I'm assuming actually it might be different for each country. So you can just Google Zoom. That might be the easier way to do it. I have already logged into my account. I'm going to host a meeting with my video on. This is an easy way to just do it on the fly if you've got something scheduled and you're just going to send out the link. I've got some other videos that might give some more. We're just going to quickly get into this. I'm assuming you, I'm not going to go through all the tiny details right now of how to use everything. But so I'm on the call. I'm going to, sorry, these things open in my other window here. I am going to copy the invitation and I'm going to go to my email here. You're going to have to bear with me. I've got lots of things open. I should close that other one. Okay, I'm going to close this one. I'm going to send an email here really quickly. I'm going to paste my invitation on here. Now I do want to point out, this is something honestly I've never even paid attention to, but Zoom does use a password. And if you're using the link, they're automatically doing it in. There is a way to turn it off so you don't have to have the password and you just use a meeting ID if you're doing call-ins and things like that. I will give you guys a more detailed tutorial on scheduling and features with Zoom so you can see that, but that's not this one. Okay, so anyway, we're going to send this to my volunteer who is waiting for me. And let me get her email for us really quickly. Okay, so I'm going to send her that email, and then I'm going back to my Zoom window. While we're waiting for her, I'm going to show you, well, actually I can even do my manage participants over there. But back to this invite. So again, you can actually just click on one of those and it'll automatically send the email through that, or you can copy it and go over to your platform and do it that as well. And do I have my whole window in here so you guys can see everything? Okay, and I know I said I wasn't going to go through everything, but while I'm waiting for her to join, I'll just give you a little bit. If you're having trouble with your video or anything like that, down here you can see where you can choose which microphone you're using. There's an option to test it. Same thing with your video if you're having any troubles there. You can also, if both people are not seeing each other okay, there's a chat option. And there's Lucy. Hi.
Hi.
So now you can see that we can both see each other's video on this. We also have the option to turn off the video. Like one person can just have the video on or off. Lucy, would you actually mind turning your video off for the moment so they can see what that looks like? Okay, so now I can still talk to Lucy. Can you say hey, Lucy?
Hi.
So you can still see her. We can still communicate just fine, but the video is off. People do have the choice when they're joining to use that feature. And actually, I'm going to show you guys really quickly what happens if we want to add a third person to Zoom, okay? So bear with me just one moment. Okay, now I have a laptop going in. We've got Lucy and mine. So now we can see how we can all interact. There is up here is a speaker view. So now it will show us whoever has, well, oddly I'm not being shown for talking, but you want to say something, Lucy?
What? Someone here.
I'm
sorry.
No, you're fine. I was going to have you turn back on your video for a second. I think that's what I was going to ask you.
You got it.
Okay. So that way, at least I feel like you're on speaker view, that I can actually see you. And I can turn this back to where they can see the multiple things. You can also, if you are the person in charge of the meeting, you can see over here, manage your participants, and I can see that I only have on the camera on that one. We've got the speaker and the camera. You can see all those little icons over there. You actually have the option to mute and unmute people as well from your Zoom account. Let's see, I can chat with everybody here. And Lucy, would you mind just typing a message so they can see how that comes through too? Okay, and now you can see it says it's from Lucy to everyone. Down here in the Dropbox, there is even the option where you can only chat with specific people. And I think, you can share your screen and then people can just see what you're sharing. I'm not going to actually do that. I'll just show you guys that pop up there. Because I think that covers it for anything you want to add, Lucy, that I missed on here?
No, actually, it's interesting. I never realized in group chat that I could just contact you, the host.
Oh, hey.
So that's cool. That's actually really good. Like if there's problems or questions only for the host, that's actually. And I didn't know you could save the chat. So I see there's another function here to the right of file.
Oh, that's a good point here. Let me make my thing so people can see that. I'll show them that too.
So those two things are really useful as a participant.
Okay, so then you guys can see here that little 3 dots and I can save the chat. Some nice options there. It looks like you can also attach a file if needed. The one thing I haven't shown you guys is calling in from a phone or being on a phone, but I do have another video that goes into that a little bit. I can link to that in the comments if you guys need that. So, okay. Thanks, Lucy, and I'll be seeing you on our next platform, which will be Google Hangout here in a few minutes.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so I'm going to end this meeting, and we are done with our Zoom tutorial. Next, we're going to try to start a new chat from Google Hangouts. So I'm in my Gmail account, and I am going to click down here. You can see there's the contacts, the phone calls, and the Hangouts conversation. And so I've already clicked on that one. I'm going to click on a new one, and then I'm going to put in Lucy's information up here. Now I've found her, and I can send her an invite. And I feel like Google Hangouts has updated things a little bit since the last time I used it, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to do the video call from here. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for Lucy to accept that, I'm going to scroll down here and click on Google Hangouts, which is going to open it another thing. They're going to take me through my first time information. There we go. So I sent my invitation to Lucy, but let's see if I can go ahead and just click on video call and see if she will answer. Okay, it took it a few minutes to load, and I'm still having trouble getting my window to zoom in here, but I'm going to go ahead and start showing you that as soon as I started my Hangout call, it's showing me this where I can invite people and I can copy a link to share. So you can see that there's those options as well, but I think that I should have already been able to call Lucy. And we're just waiting for her to show up. My computer is having trouble here. So while we are waiting for her to show up though, let's see here. I might have to pause this. Okay, so there we go. If you need, again, have any trouble with your speakers, the video, any of that kind of stuff, you can check it there. And you can see here where you can share your screen, go full screen. There's the chat function. If you want to do that, the chat just shows up over here. Oh. And you can see the previous chats by clicking on that. But this is where some of the stuff I feel like maybe isn't quite as user intuitive. You have to look a little bit more to see it. You can turn your video off and on. You can mute yourself. I forgot to show you guys that on Zoom, but you can do that if you're starting to cough or something like that, you can, and when someone else is talking, especially then, you can just go ahead and mute yourself temporarily and then turn it back on when you're ready again. I'm going to go ahead and try this again with the link. Okay, I went ahead and added Lucy's email, and I'm going to click invite and see if that helps. You can see. Anyway, I'm going to put this one over to the side for a moment, and I'm going to show you something. So in my mastermind, we have a group page, and it's kind of like this. So like once you set up the group, I can always just go, I've just bookmarked it. It's kind of what I did. And I can just come in here every time, and we have our little chat window, and there's an icon up here with a camera, and I just click on that every time to join the call. So that is how that one works from a group perspective. I will not have a group on here. I'm just going to do the quick tutorial with Lucy when she joins. So we'll give her a second. You can see how this one looks. I don't actually like this as well for a group setting either, because with Zoom, where you can have the choice to see all the people, that doesn't tend to, the pictures are smaller for the person who isn't talking on Zoom. But I think when we get to Skype, I do like that platform better. Although again, it won't be easy for me to show you multiple people on it. You can still get the general feel of it. Okay. All right. Now you can see that we have Lucy. With this one, the big difference is the person you are speaking to is big and you are tiny, versus on the other one, yours is a little bit bigger. But honestly, the focus is on the person. So for a one-to-one call, there we go. Now, Lucy, I did send you a couple different things. I was testing out which ones. So can you tell me which one did you, what did you get to join the call?
I got a Google link, and I used that to come onto the call.
The email from me?
Yes.
Okay. So interestingly, first I sent you an invite, and it didn't seem like, I don't know if that must not have given you a good notification or anything, because it didn't seem like you saw that.
I didn't see a thing.
Okay, and then I actually tried to invite you using the Google Hangout, but you still hadn't accepted my invite yet, so I didn't know if that one was going to work. So that is a good tip for everyone to know that. So when I did this send invite, it really worked best for me to click on copy the link to share and to share the link that way. Now again, this would be hard to schedule in advance. If you're just clicking on the link instantaneously versus Zoom, there is a way to, send out the link ahead of time. But okay. And interestingly, I don't know how your quality is, Lucy. For me, the picture quality is not as good on Google Hangouts.
This is true. You're a little fuzzy.
Okay. I've definitely felt like in the past, I didn't feel like the Google quality was always as good. So it's kind of nice to be able to see each one here and the difference.
Right. I mean, I will say that the sound is excellent.
Oh, okay. Is it better than it was on the other one? Do you remember?
Actually, possibly, yes. And in the past, when I've done Google, sound has been an issue. So I guess they've cleaned up for that.
Interesting. And I don't know, too, if it's just, again, this crazy world we live in right now, where there's a lot higher demand. I felt like the Google Hangout, the whole process was kind of sluggish. So it could just be the demand is high right now with a lot of people using it.
Right.
Okay, so next up, I'm going to call you on Skype.
Okay, so should I leave this meeting?
Yeah, we're good here, and I'll call you back on Skype. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so we've ended that, and you can again see here, there's the video call, the phone call, and the message. Now, if you're already connected with somebody and you've planned ahead to use the Google Hangout, those other options might work better, but when in doubt, emailing them specifically yourself seems to be the best choice here. Okay, now for Skype. Now on this one, I am already connected to Lucy, but you can use the search bar up here to find people. If you haven't already connected with them. This is the part that I do find isn't always the easiest. Because like for myself, I unknowingly have like 3 different Skype accounts. So it's hard to know which one's the actual right one. Technically, everyone has a username, but the email might be the easiest. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and this is my past thread with Lucy. And I can just click on video call, and it's calling her, and there she is. Ta-da! Okay, now again let's see, with Skype, it's also where again, I'm the tiny one and then she's the big one, or vice versa on her screen. We also have the option to mute, to turn off the video, to open a conversation here, and I can chat with her, to share my screen. It's not as complicated as Zoom. So when I do the share screen on Zoom, we get a lot more choices of just certain things. This is pretty much just one monitor or the other one because I have two monitors. Oops, so I don't want to quit Skype. Oh, and I just did, didn't I? Okay, so I accidentally quit Skype by mistake. I could have easily called her back and kept going on it, but for the most part, that was it. I want to now show you this other one. This one is actually not free. This one I purchased through AppSumo. So I don't know how long this offer will be available through AppSumo, but as long as it is, it's a great choice. So I've already logged into my account, and with this, I can have a booking calendar that they book through, and then they would go ahead and enter the credit card and pay. The payment doesn't happen until the call has completed, but I can also just do a free call and just do a link. So that is what I'm going to do now. That would be actually where my meetings are. I'm going to go into my meeting rooms. So this would just be my quick link. And with my account, I can have a call with 4 people. I can have a call with 2 people. I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to email it to Lucy. And then she will join us and you can see how this one works. Okay, so again, she knows what's coming. I'm just sending her the link exactly. And this is a link that I always have and I can always use. So I don't have to change it for each person. So when they book the call, if I'm not using their booking software either, I can just send this link. And there you have this option with Zoom as well to do things like that. So I can show you guys that too. Well, so anyway, so I went ahead and sent her that link. And while she is getting that email to join us, I'm going to go ahead and click join here. It's going to ask me to allow my microphone and camera. So I'm going to allow, and I have to click join the meeting so that I am actually in the meeting. This was a chat I did the other day for testing, and hopefully everything goes smoothly and Lucy is able to join okay. And you can see how this platform works. So again, you can turn the camera off and on. I can mute myself. There's the help feature. There's the chat. That one, I don't want to chat with them. Since Lucy has not joined yet. Oh, there she is. So now I can see. Oh. Hopefully this is going to work okay. It worked okay for my test. Oh, there she comes. There she is. Yay! Okay. So now again, with this one, I've got the option to see both people clearly. And I have gone over those features. How's this quality look for you, Lucy?
This is good. Actually, it's interesting. It's a split screen. So you're over here on the right and I'm over here on the left.
Mm-hmm. That is different, isn't it?
Yep.
And let's see. Do you have the option to share your? Oh, there it is. The share the screen option. I assume you should have an icon with the share the screen option too.
And yes, I do.
Okay. And this was your first time. Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I have chat as well.
In the chat. Okay. Yes. And then, so was it easy to get on for the first time on this one?
Yeah, I had to accept their terms and conditions and put my name and email address. And they did like a very quick check of my microphone and camera, but then it connected me immediately.
Okay. So, and again, the one thing that I like about this too, if some people are uncomfortable with downloading the file for Zoom, you only have to do it once, but this one doesn't download anything at all. Skype does have to be installed on your computer to use. The Google Hangouts is only web-based also, but a little more complicated. So I like this one just because at least it's pretty simple.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
All right. Well, I think that's all 4 of our platforms. We got them all. Yay!
Excellent.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lucy, for your help.
You're welcome.
Okay. We'll end this call.
Okay.
Oops, I cut her off a little bit. And last thing I was going to show you guys is a couple of those features I mentioned in Zoom. So let's go ahead and just do those really quick. Okay, we're back in Zoom. So again, I showed you earlier how easy it is to just do an immediate meeting. And for people that want to join a meeting, they can also, the meeting ID that you give them, they could click on the join a meeting and enter that. So see, you can just enter the meeting ID right there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my account for a moment here. And yep, I just have the free account. And it does have the limits, but for now it works for me. And so when you go into your account, you have a personal meeting ID and this link. So you can use this anytime for every call that you have. You can use this one. And now, I wanted to mention though that I believe it does have the password, and I wanted to show you guys where that was. Okay, actually I did not need a password with this one, so that was fine. So it doesn't give you the full details to easily email your people, but if you've done it once and you've got the content, if they need that extra. But you can also just send them this link. So I've gone ahead and done that with my tablet just so you guys can see, and I opened this link in a new tab. So, and it went ahead and started my call. Now, doing it this way though, it did not automatically turn on my video. So if I want my video on, I'm going to actually have to choose my video. And the same thing on my laptop. It did not automatically turn the video on. And so the person on that end would have to automatically turn their video on. There are options here. Going to end that one. And if you come over here, if you want to be able to have more control, you can go over here to meetings and you can schedule a new meeting. And you can see that I have some in here. I have 2 reoccurring meetings, and these are both for people who are in the More Feet Club that we have twice a month. We have some live calls, and I've set those up. So anyway, those are there, but you can, in the individual meeting, you don't have to do them to be reoccurring by any means. For each individual person that you're going to meet with, you can set this up, choose your information, your time. Now, I've honestly found it doesn't really matter when I put for this and how long I put for this. The call will let you start it whenever, and it will let you go as short or as long as you need. Those I think are more of just for the calendar, so that it puts it on your calendar appropriately. And again, then you have your time zone, your meeting ID. Here's the option. So if you don't want to have a password, this is a way to do that. This, you can decide whether or not you want the video to be on by default for you and the other person. And it's the same thing for the audio. You can decide if you want it to, only work one way or make it both. I would assume you would always want both. And then there's a few other things here that you can choose as well. And this only works when you do this schedule a meeting from within your account. If you're just doing the host a meeting on the fly, or you're just using your link, it doesn't let you easily choose these things. So now here you can let if there's going to be more than one person and you want them to be able to start talking before you get there, you can click on this enable join before host. And that means that when they click on it, they're instantly in the meeting. Otherwise, they would have to wait. They'll kind of be put in like this waiting room and have to wait for you to get on before they can. You can automatically mute them when they get on, and then you can unmute them. So if only you want to have like 10 people come in and you only want one person to talk at a time, that would be an option. The waiting room is kind of similar to this whole enabling if you don't enable the join before host, it's sort of similar to the waiting room. Like when people get on, they're going to be having like a holding screen that's going to wait for you to actually admit them. And here you can choose to record the meeting automatically. But you can also choose to record it once you are on the call. So I really do like doing it this way. If you are planning ahead, it gives you nice options. And then if I save it, I didn't really say anything, but now once you save it, it automatically lets you add it to your calendar. And that is a lovely feature. You can copy the invitation and it will automatically, interestingly, they have changed this. They have stripped out all the call details. And I was mentioning this in my article, but previously on a free plan, people could call in from the phone lines. And this has been stripped out because I saw that they were maybe having overload issues with all of the people now working remotely and things like that. So you may or may not, or maybe they're just not encouraging it. And I can show you how to, guys, find that information here just one moment, okay? But anyway, so you could copy this and email that to the person that you are meeting with. And that way you both would just be able to click on this link at the time of the meeting and join it that way. It's pretty simple and easy. Okay, so one last thing, and let's see if people can still call in using the meeting ID. Okay, I looked at the plans and pricing, and for now it still shows the join in telephone or join by telephone call-in on the free plan. However, there was a little blurb up here a few days ago saying that that might get restricted, and interestingly, they've just pulled it from all the details. But if I go into their help articles, joining by phone, it does still show me the phone numbers. So it looks like it will still work if you have those phone numbers, which, let's see. I think I saw them. Well, if you need that, shout out to me and I will see what I can do to help you. You might just have to have, because I know the other day there was a link I went to that listed all the phone numbers, and I have that in my information in the membership. So I can pull that, and I'm happy to help you guys test this if this is something that you need. But for right now, I would focus on just trying to use it if you're using the free plan with the video and not the phone call option. So anyway, I hope seeing a little bit of how Zoom, Skype, Google Hangouts, and MeetFox all works gives you a little bit of a better understanding of which one you want to use. And let's see, the limitations of each are listed in my blog post. I'll put that links in the comments and anything else you guys need. So let's have some more fun with this, adapting our businesses. Well, you guys are adapting your businesses to meet this ever-changing need, and I'm trying to find all the right tools to help you guys do that, okay? So right now we're not getting more feet on your table, but we're doing the best we can in the situations we have to work with. Have a great day, everybody.